You know what I love about this show is that so many of you who nestle in with us, is that is that the right word? I mean, Terry's telling me I can't spell. Maybe I can't speak either. Those of you that settle in with us every afternoon, I like nestle. That's a little more intimate. You nestle in with us. You know that we've been working on trying to fix some of the issues with the video quality for whatever reason, and put in an order for a new switch. So we'll see if the switch fixes the problem. I'd love to test it out today, but actually I will probably test it out a little bit later today, but not during the show. I debated it, but no. Yesterday was too risky. Like I was nervous during the breaks yesterday, pulling the internet down for those of you watching. And everybody tuned in on the radio. You're just like, we don't know what you're talking about, Swanny, because you sound so crispy every day. That's right. iHeartRadio app. You can listen to the show around the world. And you can sit back and drink an ice cold, holy kombucha or something. I don't know. It's a Texas-based drink company, and it is now endorsing Quinn Ewers, the former high school quarterback at Southlake High School there. I believe Southlake Carroll. I have to double check. I can't remember all the high schools in the state of Texas. Yeah, Southlake Carroll, one of the powerhouses there in the state. I believe. Am I wrong on this? Wasn't that where Chad Morris, I think, was the high school coach there at one point along the way? Maybe not. Maybe there's Westlake, Southlake, and there's just, but trust me on this when we talk about the high schools in the state of Texas. There's a reason the movie and the TV show Friday Night Lights were based off of the state of Texas. I mean, that's a state where high school football is as big as anything in a lot of communities, and maybe bigger in some communities than perhaps college football for some of these fans. But Quinn Ewers was projected to be the number one overall recruit in the 2021 recruiting class. Instead, decides to enroll early, starts his career at Ohio State, and it all goes back to not being able to benefit off of his name, image, and likeness. Now, Holy Kombucha, which is also partnering with Hope Squad for mental health and suicide prevention programs. I mean, that sounds good to me, was interested in signing Ewers, according to a report from Yahoo Sports back in late July. Now that's taken place because Ewers is in college and he can benefit where he couldn't have done so if he was still quarterbacking his senior season at Southlake Carroll High School. Now, reclassifying is not something that is unheard of collegiately. We see it from time to time. Players reclassify. Sheridan Jones on your Clemson Tiger football team reclassified. He moved up a year to enroll early at Clemson several years ago. I mean, this happens a lot. Hold up, rephrase it. This happens, but this is the first time that it's ever happened for a kid to go benefit off of their name, image, and likeness and make money collegiately. Now, there is the odds that Quinn Ewers starts or plays this season for Ohio State is probably pretty slim, outside of the fact that you've got the new rules to allow players to play and get some opportunities and some reps under their belt and not burn a scholarship, right? So that's still out there for him. But what I think, again, becomes the next situation or story is how quickly do states, or how quickly are states forced to comply with the ruling that the Supreme Court laid out about name, image, and likeness and players being able to benefit, so that your local high school star can begin making money off of their name, image, and likeness to endorse somebody to go to the local pharmacy, to endorse somebody to go to the local beauty biz or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Like, I think this is the where we're headed. And I don't love it because I don't know where it stops. I mean, if you got a little kid playing Pee Wee League football and everybody calls him the Tank, what's going to stop a local tank? No, as I'm aware, nobody sells tanks, as I am aware. Maybe on the black market you can get some tanks. But what's going to stop the local tank dealership from being like, hey, come on over here. We want to do a commercial with your son, Tank. when I'm not running over Pee Wee League players, I'm shopping at Bubba's Tank Shop. Like, is that where we're headed? And that to me is the bothersome thing about all of this. And it should concern you. It should concern you as a parent. It should concern you as a consumer. It should concern you as someone whose kids possibly playing Pee Wee League football or high school football. Again, go back, reset it, catch the podcast, catch the highlights on YouTube of the show that shakes the Southland. I believe this is going to get better. And I believe this will get better because my personal hunch is that there will be some reining in of what has become this limitless or seemingly endless amount of name, image, and likeness deals and money and stuff that goes on. And I also wonder if some of the players will end up burning some of these companies. Or am I getting my 20 grand up front? Sure, I'll tweet your business, and then you don't tweet it as a player. You're trying to get that money back. I mean, it's just, there's a whole new, a whole lot to it that you just wonder if at some point the players aren't going to be responsible enough. I mean, look, if these guys have to have somebody show up to make sure they get to class, if these guys have to have tutors and all the things that come along with being a scholarship athlete, why would you believe that they wouldn't fall through on some of their obligations off of the gridiron? You know what I mean? That cute girl this guy's dating calls him and says, hey, let's go out to dinner. And he forgets he's supposed to tweet out about what's this stuff called he's drinking? His holy kombucha or whatever. Then maybe it falls through. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm wondering if it'll start to level off a little bit and we won't hear so much about it. We won't focus on it. But right now, fevered pitch from the collegiate level to the high school level. And heck, who knows where it stops? Maybe the Pee Wee level at some point. Hour number 2, Mike Yuva joins the show that shakes the Southland. Watch Fox 57 in the Midland.